Subscribe to our YouTube channel for in-depth interviews of India Inc. and press the bell icon so that you do not miss our updates.
Hello and welcome to Nirmal Bank, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Daria. We have with us Riya Singh, technical analyst, currencies joining in. Riya, let's start with what's happening on the US dollar. Clearly, the kind of data that's coming in from the US is seeming pretty much positive, and that's actually taking the dollar index on the higher side as well. Do you think we are capable of crossing the 93 level on a sustainable basis? And if yes, what are the next levels we should be watching out for?
True that, Hiral. The US altogether is witnessing quite a strong employment data, and there has been quite an increase in the employment uh, rates as well. So this is putting quite a good forte for the dollar index, and this is actually indicating that there has been some pickup into the economy because so for the job rollouts has happened. So I think this is a very good news coming from the US front. It means that the demand is developing for the for the economy as well. Will it be sustainable and will it breach the 93 levels? I think it is showing quite a resilience towards the 93 levels. But if the numbers keep on coming on a positive side, we can definitely see surpassing it, owing to the weakness, somewhat uncertainty we are seeing into the euro and eurozone as well as into the UK. And the only thing that we need to consider right now is the release bill that the Biden government will be coming forward to. So after the 2 trillion, almost 2 trillion package that they have released, there is another two bills that is there in the pipeline. So this will consist of nearly, six, 600 and 600 to $6 to $1 billion around for the infrastructure. So the first bill after the 2 trillion bill will be the infrastructure bill, and the next again is there in the pipeline, which will be focused on the affordable housing. So regardless of that, 621 $1 billion into that, and then $300 billion into the affordable housing. So this will this is actually putting a lot of eyes onto how the whole government will handle such a huge infusion of fiscal measures, because this will definitely put a restraint on the whole trade deficit and debt scenario of the US economy. So I think the statement that has come forward is that there will be an increase into the federal tax into the US altogether. But then again, if there there comes an increase into the taxation into such a difficult time, this will definitely reflect on the demand and the consumer spending scenario altogether. So I think this is something very important that we must put a very close eye towards as to how the US government will raise such kind of money in order to put forth into the bill, and what will be the deeds that will be done, what will be the tax increases that they are planning to do. So this will put forth laying bricks as to how there will be a turn of event into this pandemic situation for the US economy. So apart from that, I think US is playing quite a good front, which is reflecting on the dollar index as well. So right now, I think it will be near 93, 93.15. The sustainable question will be answered once the deeds of these infrastructure and affordable housing come forth, and what are their respective stand with respect to the, whether they'll be doing the individual tax increases or whether it's just corporate related. This will put forth the other parameter onto the dollar index future.
Right. So with that now, moving away from the dollar index, Shreya, clearly if you go to see the euro and the yen are lagging, uh, what does that actually tell you? Do you think with regards to where the euro is concerned, it's standing against the dollar?
Yes, I think Euro is currently very much into trouble because of the procurement of the vaccination. There has been a lot of issue with respect to how they'll procure the further vaccination supply that the Europe so desperately needs. It has gone so forward with this stand as to even to stop the flow of vaccination to the UK as well, which was causing a rising tensions between the two parties. So I think the vaccination drive is something that the Europe is currently very much struggling with. And with respect to the other, with respect to the projection wise and the whole economic development with the whole eurozone, I think then there is again the bond issue that there is there. The ECB have come forward with respect to how they'll tackle the whole sell-off that is going on in the US government bonds, and how they'll keep the pace of the euro bonds as well in. So I think there is some statement that should be released on part of how the ECB will be managing the yields and bonds picture, and how they'll go forward with respect to tackling the whole COVID-19 crisis, and what will be their future stand in order to get a turnaround from this point. So I think so much uncertainty with respect to the whole economy, the economy, where the economy will head, plus how they are tackling with the vaccination drive, and plus the ECB stand on the bond yields. All these things are, kind of creating an uncertainty cloud over the whole euro stand. So this is what we are currently seeing into the euro, momentum as well. There's so much uncertainty that there is, a sideways momentum, or there is an alternate momentum that we are currently seeing. So this is reflecting the indecisiveness into the pair altogether.
Right. And what would your view be with regards to where the sterling pound goes?
The sterling pound is very much resilient, apart from the whole Brexit issue that there is there, the border, with respect to the, with respect to the Scotland, then there is, the whole altogether what we were witnessing, in the past week and in the past session that we have discussed, the vaccination drive that, was putting quite a dent. But if you have, if you put an observation on the recent Prime Minister's statement, I think he is taking kind of a light apart from those issues, and putting, has come forward with getting the vaccination test twice a week. So this will ramp up the, what do you say, the drive, as well as if you're able to get a vaccination test twice a week, I mean, that will be very much futile as to how much accessibility that you have with respect to these tests. It was very difficult to get a vaccination, to get a vaccination test for a week, to get a schedule. Now he's telling that he'll be ramping up twice a week. Then the vaccination rollout has again restarted into the economy as well at a rapid rate. So again, there is some positivity that is coming towards the pound altogether. Then there is that within this week, there will be a confirmation plan with respect to the relaunch of the whole international travel, and what are the sections that will reopen into the economy. Plus the new mass testing program as well, in order to break the chain of transmission and to get the cases without symptoms recognized. So I think this has turned a little bit positivity into the pound. But if you look at the whole, the trajectory that the pound has given against the dollar, you can say that now it's facing quite a hurdle to go beyond that, or to test the levels that it had done in the past. So it might give a little bit of, a bullish momentum against the dollar. But I think going forward, there will be a setback that will be coming forward too, maybe in a small kind of a hiccup way. But yes, definitely, I think you can definitely see that the pound is very much over bought at these levels.
Right. And Riya, lastly, with regards to the Indian rupee as well, it is pretty much started on a weaker note. What would you have to say for the same, and what's your outlook
I think the second wave of COVID-19 uh, is definitely putting a dent into the rupee momentum, because
for that?
obviously there has been a new restriction that has been uh, put forth, and this will definitely have a dent on the projections that we are seeing for the GDP for the country. So getting the economy back on foot is the major concern that the RBI is tackling with. And plus, if you look at the OMO operations that has been done into the past, there have been quite almost 100 billion rupees of bonds that have been done into the operations with. So this is indicating that the RBI is now coming forward with respect to supporting the borrowing uh, targets that the government has laid into its budget. So it is a huge target, the borrowing target that the government has laid for the current uh, year. They have laid various paths with respect to the disinvestment goals and so forth. But obviously, if you look at the past 2 years, the government has quite struggled with the disinvestment target as well. So getting such kind of money raised for the to achieve the borrowing target and so forth is again a very what do you say, difficult uh, path that they have laid down. So RBI is definitely coming its way to support the government's record borrowing program. And then there is inflation issue as well. We are seeing quite a rise into the inflation as well. But India's government is still retaining the target of 2% to 6%. So they are quite optimistic that it will be a short-lived inflation that the current economy is facing. So I think going forward, if the dollar index remains strong and the pound remains strong, there is a likelihood that there will be an increase into the depreciation. The depreciation might continue into the rupee. 74 is a major what do you say, the major hurdle that the rupee is currently facing. So keep 74 as a major resistance into the pair. I'm not seeing it going further than that on the depreciation part.
Right. And overall, Riya, what would the strategies be that you would recommend?
I think you can buy into the Euro INR. Uh, uh, Looking at the intraday sessions, it has given a breakout of 86.88 levels, which was a major resistance. So you can buy into the pound at 86.99, go for a target of 87.23, and keep a strict SL at 86.78. The next strategy that you can go forward with is going long into the rupee. Go long into the rupee above 73.70 for a target of 73.85, 73.95. Keep a strict SL at 73.50 for the Indian rupee. I think you can definitely take part into these two strategies in the coming session.
Right. All right, Riya. Thank you so much for sharing the strategies and your views. I think there is a question coming in. Any resistance and support levels for dollar INR and any option strategies that you would want to recommend?
The major resistance into the USD INR is at 73.85, because it has given a turnaround in the last two sessions of the bullish leg from these levels. So breaching the 73.85, 73.95 will require a major pushback. So that is a major support, and the resistance. The support you can see at 73.34 and 73.12. Going for an option, I think it is a very volatile session for the Indian rupee, and it is accompanied with a lot of uncertainties. So wait for rupee to come down at around 73.34, 73.44, and you can go for a long then, or you can go for a 73.50 call. Apart from that, I think it is right now trading at a very near resistance level. So there is a high possibility that it might witness some profit taking. So due to the uncertainty, wait for a level to come down, and then you can go for a call option into the USD INR of 73.50 and 73.75.
Right. All right, Riya. Thank you so much for sharing your views coming in, and thank you participants for joining in.